And joining us now to talk about the national left-wing media, as well as Trump's immediate action on dismantling President Obama's devastating legacy, veteran of 10 presidential campaigns, Ed Rollins, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist for the New York Post. Michael Goodwin, good to have you both here. Are you guys, you don't seem to be as exuberant as I would imagine.
I thought this was a fabulous day for the president. I thought he showed great leadership when he made his inaugural address. He was strong and powerful and reinforced the issues that he talked about in the campaign. And today he basically started implementing those. He looked right in the Oval. You know, you visualize him on the campaign trail. You visualize him when you see him behind the Oval Office, behind the desk. He looked the part today. I thought the groups that he met with were important. I thought
once a strategist, always a strategist. If you're the dean of strategists,
I thought the first is, well, he looked the part and he sounded the part. And I think the one thing about him is this is a guy who's basically tough and going to show his leadership real quick.
Well, to see him talking with business leaders, CEOs, we've seen that. To see him talking with union leaders as he did today, we hadn't seen that. And he was giving both equal and high-class, top-drawer treatment. This is a very good sign. If only symbolic, it's an important sign, is it not, Michael?
Oh, absolutely. Look, he is keeping his campaign promises. He's starting right out of the gate doing the things he talked about. The minute he got an opportunity to do them, he did them. We saw that with Carrier, even during the transition.
Right.
And you know, Lou, I'm struck by the fact that everything he has done so far, Barack Obama could have done and didn't. To jawbone these companies, to try to keep them in America.
Oh, wait a minute. Some in the national liberal media, many in fact, are, you know, tusking his jawboning. That would be an intervention in the free, you know, these left-wing hacks are sitting there suddenly. They're protectors of the private sector because this president dares to tell the CEO how it's going to be.
Mandates and everything else, but suddenly they're worried about that. But look, this is the other America that hired Trump, and that's the America he's working for.
It's called leadership, and I think the reality is these are the things he promised the American public he was going to do. The most shocked group to me, as I watched the visuals today, was the leadership of Congress walked in and they looked there, and it was sort of like, he's really here. This is him. This is the guy we got to deal with. And they all kind of paled in comparison. Schumer, Pelosi, what have you.
Schumer looks like, I mean, he looks like a wanted man. Yeah. I mean, he's a fugitive. He is hiding in plain sight and saying some of the silliest damn things one could imagine a Senate Minority Leader saying, even after the experience of Harry Reid.
Well, the most important thing, he talked about draining the swamp and billionaires, whatever. This is a cabinet that has got members of Congress, it has governors, it has generals. It's not full of billionaires. There's successful businessmen, some of whom may have made $1 billion, but it's not full of billionaires. It's full of very successful people.
And they're not
Oh, wait a minute. Are you calling Charles Schumer to task for uttering a misstatement?
Let me just say he's misinformed, and you ought to go look on the resumes of everybody before he votes on their confirmation, because they're all going to
Did you see how pleased he was with his wordsmithing? We call this the swamp cabinet. I mean, where did he ever get that concept, swamp? He's a plagiarist, for crying out loud.
Well, and look, as long as Trump is doing what he said he would do and producing results at doing it, Schumer is going to be flopping around looking for an angle, but there isn't going to be one if Trump is doing the people's business.
He's doing the people's business. He's doing it in what I call Trump time. I mean, he is moving, and he's got the parts in place, even though he has an administration to fill out. He doesn't give a damn about having a contest of words and semantics. He doesn't have time for that nonsense. I am so proud of Sean Spicer. He stood up today, and he handled a motley crew of White House press corps that, I mean, they went from the trivial to restating the obvious and the previously stated. He was patient. I would have imagined, well, I would have imagined a lesser man would have had his thumbs around somebody's throat, because they were absolutely asinine, superior, condescending, and wrong. I mean, they were just awful.
He's going to get to do this every day. He stumbled a little bit on Saturday. He had a great day today, and there's two things that I think are very important. The president has a brand new tie on. It's not one of his red, blue Trump ties. It's a very stylish tie, and Sean has got a haircut. So it's a brand new day. March forward here. So.
Well, I would like
Sam
to just blow up the horn to the New York Post, too. The first question that Sean Spicer asked today in the first formal briefing was...
Daniel Halpern?
Yes, the New York Post bureau chief in Washington. And this is a big break because it's always got to be the Associated Press. So I think this was another break with
If you were Donald Trump, would you ever call, or one of his press secretaries, would you ever call in the Associated Press again, honestly, as a newsman?
Right. Yeah. Well, look,
would you, for any reason in the world, call?
Well, but I think the big point here is that we don't have to follow your rules anymore. We're making our own rules. This is our building. We can. You're all invited here. It's First Amendment, but we're going to make these decisions, not you.
And you know what I love is Sean Spicer was right, and yet we were treated to 2 days of nonsense. He said the largest audience. His word, not crowd, not National Mall, audience. And when you, it's just aggravating. Good job, Sean Spicer. Good job, Ed Rollins.
Thank you,
Michael Goodwin.
Thank you.
I'm grading on the curve
Yeah,
today.
everybody gets an A today.
Because I might have to get graded myself.